Cancer, good morning. It is, now let me just make sure I get this right. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, August 5th, and you have a great reading ahead of you. I was just kind of breaking it down a little bit here. Per usual, took me a little bit to meditate and be able to focus, but all right, so let's get started. I want to start with the message cards today because I think that they frame the reading. I got clams on the beach and hot tomato. And I think it's interesting that these are both food items because I think they're the only food items in my entire message deck. Clams on the beach. These message cards are in here so that I can sort of understand a little bit more of the context when spirit, these cards are very general, right? So clams on the beach is about friendship and family and good times. There's nothing bad about that card. It could be a bit nostalgic, kind of like a Six of Cups type of card. And hot tomato is just something my grandmother used to say. She would go, "Oh, she's a real hot tomato," is exactly what she would say. And that meant she's a seductress, or it wasn't it's not a compliment coming from my grandmother, but from me, it's a compliment. It means like you're hot stuff, okay? And people are digging you, all right? And maybe people are talking behind your back a little bit. All right, let's jump in. Cancer, I want to start, we'll save the best for last, okay? In your energy realm, your passions, what's driving you currently, just recently, so this was probably in the past year, we have the death card. And I do think that you might have ended something, okay, that, was very meaningful to you in the past. So this could be, just to give you an example, the first thing that's coming to mind for me is somebody who changes their religion. Maybe they grew up one way and they just, they decided that it didn't resonate with them and they decided to switch course. But it could also be changing your identity in some way, death to the fake you, death to the fake passion. There's something that you ended, and I can't pinpoint exactly what it is, okay? But it feels relational to me. Right now you're in the Two of Cups. So you are feeling like whatever you're giving to and putting into, you're getting something back from it. And it is really, you're on the right track, Cancer. The thing that you're enjoying, that's driving you right now, do more of that, because you're coming into the Nine of Cups, which is a wonderful place to be in terms of luck and positioning yourself for, attaining your goals, whatever they are, even if the goal is peace. The only thing to watch out for is that, you don't forget about the help that's around you and the opportunities that are around you. When I look at the Nine of Cups, I think, it's a great place to be, but don't get too comfortable there, because, life is about change. And, you don't ever want to feel complacent in life. You want to continue to grow. And growing you are in your Pentacles arena. So, health is looking good. Your money is looking good. Your living situation is looking good. And so are your relationships. You in the past, you're just coming out of a pretty good experience. You may have, established some sort of venture, or maybe you just proved yourself in some way. Maybe you invested in something and it worked out well. When I look at the Six of Wands, I think, nobody could argue with this success. Which leads me to believe that maybe somebody was trying to argue with your path, or, you had a lot of naysayers. But, Cancer, you did not let that get to you. In fact, in the current, you are just really feeling yourself. You're like, hey, when I see the well, which is a card that's unique to this deck, I'm thinking, investing your money in the stock market. Perhaps you're buying real estate, thinking about passive income. But you are being creative with your finances. Even if you feel like you don't have everything that you need right now, you're still making it grow. And in interesting, creative ways that I think other people are impressed by. Like, how did you turn that into this, type of feel? For this could be about a culinary venture too, because a hot tomato, clams on the beach, this could be a cookbook, a restaurant, a catering business, something to that effect, something that you're putting together, because you're considered to be a bit of an expert in whatever it is that you do. And this is where you're at, this creative stage. The next card, King of Pentacles. I mean, this is great. You're in command of your kingdom. This is like, this is an OG status. This is like, oh, you want to know about, pasta? You need to go to this person. They're the best pasta person. Or, you're into tarot, check out, this reader. They are really on point. You are coming into your, this is like a very good time in your life for feeling accomplished. Like the work that you've put in is starting to surface around you in the form of having everything that you need to do whatever's next, whether it's, start a new venture, which by the way, we'll get to that, but there's something coming, or just to give back a little bit, help out other people around you, because you definitely, you love that. I'm bouncing over here to this crossing energy between your past and what you're in right now. You have the tree, which kind of represents you. And I do think that you are a networker. Like, you definitely introduce people to other people, or say, who you should talk to, this person. That's coming back to you now. You also have the Hierophant here. You may have really worked very hard to learn something the right way, become a master at something. You could have gotten a master's. You could have been an apprentice. But you put a lot of work into where you've come from and where you're sitting right now. It didn't just fall into your lap, that's for sure. Now, in your relationships and in your love life and your emotions, this is the area where you've had the most volatile experience currently, all right? I see that you've had some heartbreak in the recent past. And somebody betrayed you. And, it was a setback. I think that it illuminated the sun. It showed you, well, number one, who it is you are and what you give to situations. And it also, I have all this like tar in my hands from a project I was doing earlier. But it did show you, who's really got your back, and hard times do that. There were people that maybe knew stuff that they didn't tell you, and you resented that, or they shied away from it when you were struggling, when you were the one who needed help. Like, they froze up, like they weren't there. I think that you're working through that now, because you are finding a lot of value and happiness in things that maybe were hidden from you before. So, people really, people showed you who they were, which means that you saw people for the better and for the worse. There might have been some people that really did step up for you, and you didn't see the value in them before. Or there might be parts of yourself that were stronger than you could have imagined, that you're like, you know what, next time I'm not going to be so scared, because like I did this and that, and like I could really pull myself out of these things. This too shall pass, like I can get through this. But I do think that, as a Cancer and a water sign, you You feel a lot. You're very intuitive. You're an empath. You are like an altruistic person who really derives joy from helping others. And, you know, you have the Five of Swords in the near future. I do think that you're going to cut ties with some people that are no longer compatible with you. They're not resonating with you. You know, you're coming into a place where you have more to offer financially, you know, more freedom that way. You know who you are. You do have a solid group of people, even if it's only a few, that you can really rely on. You're okay. You're not wasting your energy on looking for the truth, on you're not taking any more hits. You are really going with your intuition more in the future. This is not so black and white to me. Like, I don't see this Five of Swords as, you know, somebody's going to be sneaky and deceitful in the future. I think that that is kind of what you're seeing now is, you know, that things that you would never think of because they're not in your makeup. Well, now you're aware of them, you know, because you had like an awakening where you were like, gosh, people are shady, you know, like, and so now you're like being far more selective. I think that you'll maybe be seen as someone who's being calculated or not telling the whole truth. And I don't think that's the case. I think you're not secretive, you're private, and there's a difference. I do think you have secrets, but everybody does. But I think people think that you hold a lot back. I don't think that. I don't think that. But I do think that you're very selective about who you're going to give your attention and your effort to going forward, especially your heart. You are not giving your heart to anyone that has not earned it, because you're okay right now. And this could be friends, this could be lovers. The crossing energy between right now and in the future is, well, you're the bouquet. I mean, you are just, what's the word? You're like gold right now. Everything you touch turns to gold. People see that too. So, you know, be careful with that. But you have unlimited potential in this time. I mean, it's the Lion's Gate, right? So I'm sure that you're probably unconsciously manifesting, if not consciously, but please know that, and the number 9 might be significant. This is a great time to think about what your next moves are. Or if you need more of something that's in your current environment, think about that. Feel into that and stay there as long as you can, because you are a powerful manifester, but you're also very methodical. You don't leave things up to chance. I see that. Like right now, you're collaborating on something, you're building something, and you have spoken to others about this. You've done your research. You've gotten advice. You may be working with a planner, a financial planner, a decorator. You might be going for Reiki or a chiropractor, maybe physical therapy. But you're seeking out the advice of others on something that you're collaborating and working on. This could be something that you're doing individually, but you're definitely taking in information and direction from other sources. And, you know, you have a lot of people that want to help you, because, you know, you've been there for a lot of people in the past. And I think that you're starting to feel more comfortable asking for help and asking for clarification and, you know, being really upfront about the things that you don't know about and that you want to know more about, because you're getting ready to do something that's a little out of your wheelhouse, all right? Maybe a little out of your comfort zone. This could be the hot tomato card. You know, I don't know what this is, but it's new and it's a little scary, and you're getting ready to make a jump, or you're doing it right now. And this is going to be a good thing for you. I'd like to pull some clarification cards on that, because I am curious. More about the Fool, Spirit, please. More about the Fool for Cancer. Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles. Okay. This is giving me like a fun, I don't want to use the R word, revenge, because that's prohibited from this channel. But this isn't that. This is about taking something that was rough, okay? Rough. Although you would never give it back now because it's birthing this new thing. I feel like you're doing something that is going to speak louder than words with this Fool card. First example that came to my head is, and this is an example, or it could actually be somebody's story. I never know. But you have a family business that your mom, your dad wants you to go into, and you have zero interest in it. It's giving me that dentist from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's like a very old Christmas. It's like little furry people, but it's kind of like a cartoon. Anyway, it's old. And there's this dentist kid who, he just doesn't want to be a dentist. Or the other way around. I don't know. But it's giving me that vibe. Like, oh yeah, watch me. Like, no, I don't want to go into the plumbing business. I told you, I'm a chef. I want a restaurant. I'm going to buy my own restaurant. And then you open the place and like you name it after your parents, and they're like, okay, all right. It's kind of like, I'll show you, like, there's such a contrast between the Five of Pentacles, being out in the cold, you could see that there are other people that have everything that they need, but here you are out in the cold. And the Five of Cups, which is like, I'm going to go and cry now, like I'm not even going to look at what I have because I'm so upset about what just happened. I'm just like going to kind of lick my wounds for a while. And then the Fool card, okay, which I can't even think of more of a contrast, where you're like, F this, I don't care, like whatever, watch me vibes versus don't look at me vibes. So a little bit more on this because this is exciting. And if anybody is a Cancer and they do see this and they can give me an example of what this is, I would love to hear about it. Because this is a good feeling that I have with this King of Cups crossing, with the bouquet. This isn't happening in the future. I think this is what's inspiring your future move. That's my vibe. Oh, yeah, Page of Cups. This is like a gesture, yes, that can be taken in jest, or you could take it seriously. This is like you're playing with people a little bit. You're being playful. You're doing something that is bold, and it's going to be like, look at this bouquet. I'm thinking about doing something that's a little odd, outside the box. I'll show you. I might be different, but watch how different I am, and watch how many people are drawn to me because of this thing that you guys don't like about me. It's something to that effect. I also want to find out more about this Five of Swords in your cups area, in your relationships after the Sun. I feel like it's tied in because we pulled that card. No, we didn't pull that card, but we do have 3 5s here. 15, 5, 5, 5. You also may have done something to your appearance that is making you look really good. And you're like flaunting it, maybe you're the type of person who never takes selfies and you're just like, ha, I'm going to post a picture of me because I look awesome, and you're a hot tomato. But anyway, Spirit, please give me some clarity on the Five of Swords for the Cancers. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. Five of Swords clarified by the Five of Swords and the Three of Pentacles, which is what we needed. All right, so yeah, I mean, somebody did you dirty. You know, you were working on something with someone. You were building something with someone, and they were sneaky. And they hurt you. Basically, because you trusted them, because you never would have gotten involved with somebody that you didn't trust. You're a good-natured person. You wouldn't even want to build with somebody you didn't trust. So yeah, you know, heartbreak, like somebody that you trusted showed you a side of them. It looks like greed to me. It looks like envy, you know, which you get used to that. I think that's old hat to you, by the way, envy. I don't think that gets to you anymore. All right, I want to get, let's see, what do we want to know more about? I kind of want to know a little bit more about the sun, which is where you're at right now in your heart. All of these things that are coming to light. What does this mean for Cancer? And how is this bringing them into this really feisty side where they're going to be playful about things that used to hurt in the past? Spirit? Yeah, Ace of Cups. Yeah, I mean, you have a new beginning, and it's looking really good. It's looking really good. Cancer, I wonder if you're not falling in love. You may have something coming. Cancer, you either have, this hasn't happened yet. I feel like you're going to be praised. You're going to get praise, and you're going to get a lot of validation that you weren't really looking for, but it's going to feel so good for you. It's going to feel so good for you. I think that you're going to find that you're going to get a lot of positive attention. Hot tomato. I think that you're going to enjoy the fruits of your labor with a select few. And when I say select, I mean select. All right, let's see. I don't know. I don't want to end it here. I want to give you another message card. Just give me a sec, guys. I want to shuffle these. That didn't work. Okay. Slow down. All right. Let's see what we got. I couldn't even shuffle. These just fell out. The moon, it's your sun. The moon. This is your planet or star. Take note of intuitive messages, okay? Shield Maiden, make plans and focus, which is oh my gosh, I love this, guys, because, you know, we have these Five of Swords, and I was saying to you that I think you're going to get playful with things that used to hurt you. Like, find a way to reinvent it in some way, you know? And the Shield Maiden is like, hey, like, take your best shot. Like, I've been there, I've done that, I'm a warrior. Like, try to find something about me that I haven't already seen and laughed at type of vibe. Like that, like owning everything. And then you've got the Traitor. Not in a bad way. Exchange energy to create abundance. And I see that for you. I see that right now. Like, you are collaborating with other creative people or other experts. And, you know, because you're about to do something, you're about to release something or start something. And I think that that's a great place to end. You are surrounded currently by people that are giving back to you. You're prepared. You're prepared for the envy. Like, bring it on. You've earned it, okay? And as is the case with Cancer, there's more that we don't know about you. You've got something up your sleeve. Or Spirit has plans for you. So just stay open to that. Cancer, you have so many good things coming. I do hope that you get to go to the beach or enjoy your friends in a way where, you know, sun, it just seems like good stuff's coming for you. I'm happy for you, and I enjoyed this message so much. So if you did too, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day, Cancer. Bye.